What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is Queen Elizabeth's longevity contextualized for Americans. Obviously today is the day of the funeral for the Queen. The date's been uploaded. We have actually just sat through and pretty much watched most of the funeral, haven't we? I think the stream said when we came off it 9 hours long, I think it said.
Yeah, I think it started, well, the funeral started at 11.
Yep.
And then it ended about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half ago from when we're recording right now, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, I don't know, it was almost humbling to watch, sad to watch.
And quite powerful.
Amazing to watch, because it kind of just summed up.
Definitely. So many people came out for it as well, and it was quite powerful.
I think seeing the members of the royal family so emotional. And
yeah.
For a lot of people, they've never seen
definitely
a monarch pass away and a new one
most
come
people,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it was powerful.
Definitely. We were kind of and ahh'd about doing a video because, as you guys will know, we did put a post out on the day of her death. We kind of just avoided any content, but a lot of people have spammed us asking, you guys know a familiar face in Lost in the Pond. So although we're not American, there will be stuff we're going to learn for this, and it'll be good for us as well. So, and hopefully some of you guys can learn as well if you want to. So that's why we're doing this video. Just a lot of people asking. A familiar face has posted, hopefully an awesome video, because he always does his research and his facts and stuff like that. Today was the day we were doing a Lost in the Pond video anyway.
Yeah, we kind of didn't want to do it before, when it was all like new and fresh, but now it's like out of respect as well.
Yeah, out of respect. We'll learn as well. It'll be hopefully a nice little tribute to it. It's a short one as well. So smash. Well, you know, I was going to say smash, but when we save it with these videos, don't even worry about that stuff because there's more important things in life. That's just my usual line, which I always go to. But there's more important things. Again, this will hopefully give a few people who potentially haven't seen this from launch a bit more contextualization. We'll hopefully learn something new, and it's a bit of our respect and tribute to it as well. So let's get straight into it. Queen Elizabeth's longevity contextualized. We probably won't pause much. We'll talk about our thoughts at the end of it. Let's go.
Like most people alive today, until this past Thursday, I'd never known a Britain without Queen Elizabeth II, which is a wild thing to say considering I'm 40, and it's even more gobsmacking to think that when I was born she'd already been on the throne for nearly 30 years. Since I moved to the United States, I found it common for Americans to express admiration for the Queen, if not for the royal family itself. And this is generally in line with my own view. And while the United States might have a Burger King and a Dairy Queen that sometimes live inside of an old White Castle, it doesn't have an actual royal family. And so because of that, and in the spirit of this YouTube channel in which I uncover the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, I wanted to put Elizabeth II's immensely long reign into an American context. First of all, it is worth noting that when she was born on April the 21st, 1926, the then Princess Elizabeth of York was alive at a time that alcohol sales were banned throughout the United States. McDonald's was 15 years away and the Cardinals had yet to win a World Series. It also meant that she was briefly alive at the same time as Wyatt Earp. In fact, it was while she was still a princess in 1951 that she met Harry Truman. Her first meeting with a US president, but by no means her last. During her royal life, she met no fewer than 14 US presidents, including that time that she was sucked into a meeting with former President Hoover, pun intended. In all, she encountered almost a third of all US presidents in history. And this one really surprised me, right? On the day that Elizabeth became Queen, Laura Ingalls Wilder, author of Little House on the Prairie, was still alive and would be for another 5 years.
Wow.
In cinema, Singing in the Rain, a now iconic Hollywood movie, was still weeks away from its premiere. Perhaps most importantly of all, Mr. T wasn't even born yet, and Billy Joel, who references England's new queen in We Didn't Start the Fire, was 3. When Elizabeth became Queen, the statehood map of the United States was roughly 16% smaller than it is today. It looked like this. And if you're thinking, ooh, Lawrence, that doesn't look any different to the US map today, then you might have a bias toward the contiguous states. You see, Alaska and Hawaii wouldn't gain statehood for another 7 years. Her coronation was closer to the Chester A. Arthur presidency than it is to today. Since most of us forget who that is, Chester A. Arthur was president between 1881 and 1885. And this one, right here, this hits me the hardest of all of them. Renowned US scientist Dr. Emmett Brown wouldn't invent the flux capacitor for another 3 years, although he did briefly live during the presidency of Chester A. Arthur. When she became queen, roughly 84% of today's US population wasn't even born yet.
Wow.
So it wasn't
Crazy.
just Mr. T.
That's a
And
lot.
probably
That's when she
only about
became queen.
8.5% of Americans alive today are old enough to remember the event itself. If her reign had started at the beginning of the US Civil War, she would have reigned through that, the end of slavery, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, the assassination of Garfield, the president, not the cat, the assassination of McKinley, the Titanic disaster, World War I, women's suffrage, prohibition, and the start of the Great Depression. She was around for a long time. People thought
Just
that
a
in
bit.
1977 when Star Wars came out, because she'd already been on the throne for a quarter of a century. I don't know if she got tickets, by the way. And that's it.
You'd
She's
hope
left
so.
us. And I doubt that any monarch will rule as long as she did in my lifetime. Let's do the maths on that. I'd have to live until the age of 111. Charles would have to
never know.
abdicate tomorrow, hand it over to William, who'd also have to live until 111. And that's not happening unless great advances are made in medicine. Thank you for watching. Goodbye to you all, and goodbye, of course, to the Queen.
And then the flag at half-mast as well. That was awesome, a little tribute. Again, to be fair, we hadn't checked it out, and we did speak to Lawrence earlier in the week, and he said he had done this video. And it's a perfect Lawrence way, isn't it? Just so much fact, a little bit of wit in there as well. And it just goes to show, I mean, we like cricket in the UK. We always say innings. Had an amazing innings.
She did a lot. She'd done a lot. She had a lot. She saw a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the thing that like I can't comprehend is that she lived through the war.
Yep.
She's met all these people that are no longer weren't even that died before we were even born.
Yeah, no, it's mental.
The amount of I don't know. It's just like she lived through the invention of Apple. Like she lived in a world.
It's such a you line.
But she's seen things that we have always seen.
And
like
when
she saw life before things that we've seen.
Well, yeah, of course, a lot of people have.
I know, but
I get what you're saying with the whole. When you look back at the 1920s stuff, I can't imagine someone living like that and all the little things they had. But then you fast forward 96 years where we've got this. She's seen what it was like back then. She knows, she's felt what it was like back then. And then she also knows what it's like with the technology, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have seen Apple being created.
Yeah.
But I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre to me.
Definitely. And again, a lot of, so many American presidents have come past. He's reigned
Prime
over
Minister,
all of them and stuff like that.
Winston Churchill was our first Prime Minister, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe it was. So yeah, no, an awesome video by Lawrence. Go and check his channel out. His link's in the description. I think he's released a one on trains, his most recent one, which we haven't checked out yet, but it definitely is on the list because it's awesome. We may be bringing out a bit of content with him soon. We're in a few talks, but we've had, as you guys may have seen, a bit of slow up blows. We've had a bit of bad news recently ourselves in this week, haven't we? So why things haven't progressed as much with Lawrence. But there you go. Hopefully you guys have learned something new. If you got any stories, anything you want to say in the comments, put them in the comments, and we'll be there for them. And huge respect for the Queen. And a little tribute, I guess. And is that everything?
That's everything.
What should you legends do?
Have a fantastic day.
Make sure you make the most of it. And again, I think days like this highlight, just make the most of your life. And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.